What's going on, knife lovers? It's Mike with I Heart Knives. Today we're going to go on a mail call journey. It's going to be a little bit different of a setup with how I shoot and how I edit and stuff. I'm going to try to do videos that are a little bit shorter, around like 15 minutes instead of my usual like 25. I know you guys can't hang on for that long, so we're going to do shorter videos, probably more of them. Do them in maybe like parts, or a series or something. Any feedback from you guys would be great towards that too. If you could go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, get that out of the way in the beginning now. We do have a mail call from Steve on Instagram. I won't give his last name out. There goes Jim in the background per usual. Yeah, so just give my thanks out to you guys now, and I'll do it again at the end of the video because you guys are the most important piece of this puzzle. If you guys have any content that you want to see, if you have an idea for the way that I take this channel through the near future, put it in the comments or email me at iheartknives@yahoo.com. If you guys have any questions about strops, leather, any of that stuff, feel free to email me or ask in the comment section. Let's get into it. We'll do mail call, do some coffee drinking, and we'll just hang out for a little bit. Alright guys, so this might be the new angle. I haven't figured it all out yet, like what I'm going to do. Again, I want it to be more interactive. I don't want it to just be from, this top-down angle. If you guys like that better, you don't want to see my ugly mug, we could go back to that. I'm perfectly fine with it. You guys tell me what you want to do. Go ahead and do mail call from Steven on Instagram. I didn't talk to him before doing this, so I'm not going to put his last name out there. And we have okay, so we have a ZT and we have another Spyderco. I think what I'm going to do is I'll wrap this into the first impressions on the Spyderco, and I'll leave the ZT for another video. I know you guys are probably pissed you want to see both, but we'll stretch the content just a little bit. So let's go right into first impressions. So as you guys know, I didn't pre-plan this. I went right into filming right from mail call, so this really is my first impressions. And it is the Yojimbo 2. And this is traditionally not like my style knife. This is like a self-defense style. I don't usually go for self-defense when I get knives. I'm sort of a believer that if you want something for self-defense, carry a gun. Knives are a good backup if it's like an absolute last resort, but I wouldn't carry it for like a primary. I think concealed carry is probably the way to go for that. There it goes. Ah, okay, so I think it's just where the grooves are, where they're milled. I think you guys should be able to see this. Where they're milled right here, where the thumb openings are. There's like this chamfering right here. I think they probably did it with a CNC just because it looks like it's stepped down. Like there's lines in it if you look up close. Okay, so right off the bat, there is not as much room for your thumb to do a thumb deployment. I mean, it's there, but, well, okay, so let me clarify that. If you have big hands, like I have pretty big hands, it's more difficult to get your thumb in there. To do a thumb flick, it's not as bad. When you want to do a middle finger flick, it takes a little bit of a different angle than I'm used to with a paramilitary 2 or a para 3, something like that. But I think the key is just to put the knife, the bottom of the knife, in your palm and get a little bit more leverage and kind of flick up, and once you do it, I mean, it does deploy. The compression lock is good. The compression lock almost feels more robust than a para 3 or a para 2. The thickness of the compression lock feels thicker. I don't know if that's really the case or if that's just my imagination. I think he said he carried this like 1 or 2 times. He did sharpen it. It came sharp. I want to say he sharpened it before he carried it. Has a nice edge on it. He didn't get all the way back to the base of the bevel. I believe he used a wicked edge. And the reason I say that is because wicked edges can be a little bit more tricky to get all the way to the back because you're moving in a forward direction. So to get all the way to the base of the bevel and go straight up, it can be more difficult. Okay guys, so let's continue with a top-down view so you guys can see the knife a little bit better. This is a Warncliffe style blade. It has pretty good ergonomics just from a first impressions. I don't know what I can compare it to. It sort of feels like maybe the para 3 in its length of handle, but then it slims at the back here. It fits my hand really nicely. Like, I think if you have bigger hands, you can get your thumb up, forward on here. That's how it's designed. It's designed to be used like this. You can do reverse grip in a stabbing motion, in a forward thrust. Your thumb, I don't think, will ever move off of this. Just the way that this is, it's actually pretty deep, the cut in here. So I don't think there would ever be an issue. The clip is a little bit hot spotty, but this isn't gonna be a knife that you would, go take in the backyard and start messing with like wood. It's not that type of knife. I think it's a knife that, since it's designed for self-defense, you don't really have to think about the same things that you do with, let's say, like the American Lawman that I'm all about right now, because I have it again, and I'm so happy I have it again. I beat myself up for selling it in the first place, but thanks to Mike Likes Knives, I have it again, and I'm really pumped. The thought with the American Lawman is, well, I want the most comfortability when I'm using it. I want my ergos to be good even when I'm squeezing hard trying to get through a tough cut. Is the pocket clip going to be an issue? I want to know these things ahead of time. With the Yojimbo 2, it's different. It's not for that. This has its purpose, and I don't think you have to think about the same things with this. So for that, things that I'd want to think about, and what I am thinking about, are fast deployment, and it does middle finger flick pretty quick. I think it's just getting used to it. Can I maneuver from a reverse grip to a forward grip? Can I do it quickly? The only thing, since this is so thin at the back right here, the transitions can be a little bit more tough, but I haven't worked with a self-defense knife a lot. The forward grip, when your hand is in, a normal, like a saber grip, or whatever forward grip you choose, to go into a reversal is easy. To go back from a reversal, it's not. But in a self-defense situation, I guess, if I don't know, I'm not a martial artist, but to go back and forth, maybe it would be more difficult. I guess if you're trained in it, it's probably not that hard. You can just go back and forth, and you get used to it, I imagine. The compression lock still needs to get some work to smooth and lighten a little bit. It's still pretty tight. I like that it's tight though, because like my Para 3, I actually don't have it on me right now. The Para 3, the compression lock is much lighter. Like I can just grab it, and with the littlest touch, it unlocks, and that's it. It falls, drops shut. This does, and I think it has more to do with the weight of the blade, but the initial disengagement is a little bit tougher on the Yojimbo 2 than it is on the Para 3. So as soon as I go to disengage, it takes a little bit of like a shake, and then it'll drop, but the action is still pretty good. Centering is perfect, which sometimes it doesn't happen with Spyderco knives. I do have to say, it seems that the compression lock knives, they do a much better job with, like the G10 full linered knives. They do a much better job with centering on these. I don't know, what it is. Like the lightweight versions, they don't always come as perfectly centered. Like the Delica, the Endura, those type knives, I've had centering issues with. But my Paramilitary 2, my Para 3, this guy, I've never had issue. Well, I mean, this guy I just got, but I've never had issues with the, like the military line, the Paramilitary 2, the Para 3, the Manix 2, any knife that has G10 on top of the full liners. The Domino was perfect centering. That's a titanium frame lock, but still, I feel like it's the lightweight versions of the Spyderco knives that I have issue with for centering. This is a Michael Janich design. I'm not sure how it's pronounced. It's Janich either way, but I'm not positive how it's pronounced. Let's do a Griptilian, since most of you guys have a Griptilian, and it's fairly similar to that too. The Griptilian handles are a little bit longer, and the blade, it looks like, is just about the same. Yeah. The hollow grind on this guy is done nicely. It's not perfect, but not much is in this world. Behind the edge, I could see this being a little bit thicker. My guess would be probably like 20 to 25 thousandths, in that range. Has a nice polish though. S30V polished up nicely. Overall, just a comfortable knife. I feel like you have to be forward on it with your thumb like this. If you come back and just try to get a normal, hammer grip, I feel like it's not as comfortable. I think once you put your thumb forward like that, it gets much more comfortable. I have a Rake P801 here just because I did another video on it, and I did some sharpening with it and stuff. I wish I had more knives that are applicable to you guys. I probably should go get the Para 3, but we'll just go with this. So it's actually similar to that too, the handle length and the blade length. just that you have a worn cliff here and you don't on the rake. Okay guys, I grabbed the pair of 3. Let's check these and the difference between them. Not that this is like a comparison between the two, but just to show you. So you get more blade with the Yojimbo 2, clearly. Handles are longer on the Yojimbo 2, a little bit taller. I think I'll actually be able to show you guys the difference. There is a difference in this compression lock. So take a look at this one on the pair of 3, the size of it. There you should be able to see the compression lock when it's engaged. And then the Yojimbo 2, take a look at the compression lock on this guy. There you should be able to see it, how big the tab is. But I just thought that was interesting. Maybe they had to beef it up because of the type of knife it is. If you're gonna do thrusts with it, maybe it needs to have a beefier size liner for the compression lock. One more thing I did want to say too was thank you to Steve from Super Seal Steve, and the shout out that he did in the Benchmade 3V video, the last one that he just put up. This is May 31st, so I think he put it up today or yesterday. But either way, he did a shout out to me and a bunch of other guys, and I really appreciate it, Steve. And your strops are going to be on their way as of tomorrow morning. So I'm gluing up the leather. I won't tell you what it is yet. I'm gluing up the leather on the strap on the second side, and I'll put it out in the mail for you for tomorrow. You should hopefully have it by Tuesday-ish. It's funny, Steve said something about like my demeanor and how I'm more calm and like feng shui on these videos, and I think it's just because my comfortability isn't like at that, that level where I'm okay like 100%. Not that I'm not being my like authentic self, just that I'm worried, I think, how like the reaction that I'll get for it. But I'm a little bit more like Super Seal Steve than I am like Banner 24/7. Like I could see Banner 24/7 being like really cool, calm, collected, like really cerebral. Everything he does is like really well thought out, and I feel like he's so organized. I'm a little bit more like Super Seal Steve. Like basically every word out of my mouth is a swear, and I think that's why you guys hear me say a lot, and is normally where I would just swear. I'm trying to replace these words, and man, is it tough. So bear with me through this process. I'm trying to become a little bit better of a speaker for you guys. So that's going to do it for this video. If you guys could give it a thumbs up, like, subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Want to just give my usual thanks to Outpost 76, especially Outpost 76, Patty from Patty Potato Peelers, or Patty's Potato Peelers, Case Knives Switzerland, Mike Likes Knives, KME User, Kenny from In the Pocket, Banner 24/7, Ryan over there, Super Seal Steve, of course. Jeez, it gets harder and harder to list. I need to write a list down. I'm sure I'm forgetting people, and I'm sorry if I'm forgetting you, but I feel like the people who know that they've helped this channel out, I hope you know how much I appreciate it. And that's going to do it for this one. So thanks for coming along for the ride, and I'll see you guys on the next one.